Well, Dave, a heck of a turnaround. Some bold changes at half-time, personnel, tweaking your formation. You must be pleased with your contribution at the break today because it changed the game.
It did, but you could be worthy of saying that we didn't get it right at the start if they had to change it. And listen, I suppose we were limited a little bit. Jack Hunt's come in and played minimal minutes, and we don't know how long Jack's got in him, so you didn't want him to start the game really. Ozzy, that was probably the maximum we wanted to get into him, so you are a little bit limited with what you can do, but you ultimately got to try and change the dynamic of the game, what that looks like. But for me, regardless, you make two changes. That's nothing against the lads who we brought off. We were overrunning midfield, so we put another body in there. We got them bodies closer to Woods and got Lowy closer to Woods. But that second half down to, like I say, players' attitude and desire to go and work. I was really disappointed with our first half.
It was nervy, wasn't it? Is that a symptom of the two defeats, or what is it?
It is, but for me that will never wash. The Luton game here, we played all right. We weren't the right side at the moment. We were poor at Peterborough. If you've lost confidence based on a performance at Peterborough, then your career probably doesn't seem to be going in an upward trajectory. I would suggest, and they've got the wrong manager to deal with that. They'll get no sympathy off me. There's people in miles more worse positions than we are. We are really privileged to be able to be involved in football for a living and do what we do. So that won't wash on me. And even then, if that's the case and you're not having your greatest day, you'll get support from around here by working hard, and if there's an opportunity to make a tackle and leave someone on the floor, you leave someone on the floor, and closing down and being aggressive and all them bits, and we weren't. And what they're being asked to do is make simple decisions and simple passes in an arena that has got 9,000 people that are right behind them, and if they want to play higher, then they're going to have to do that under more pressure. We looked nervy, we looked edgy, we looked like we didn't want to be out there. It looked like we almost needed a little bit of a leg up to give us some momentum. We started the game terribly. The kick-off was awful. We then didn't defend the corner. There's all them things where you've got to have clear heads, and that's just not one player. That's 11 players, and everyone is responsible for that, and including us on the side of the pitch. The second half, again, like I've said to the player, I'll take that. Whether we get an equaliser or not, I'll take what we did. That's down to them. So I want to see that regardless. And if we see that and we don't win games, listen, what will be. That is what it is. But if we see what I saw in the first half, I'm not accepting that. So whether they then think, oh, I'm picking on him because I'll bring him in every single day, and I'm not. I'll just make sure that doesn't happen. Like I've just said there, all of them will tell me they should be in the team. So there's no way you should be lacking in confidence. But what I did say is that all them players have ownership of that shirt at the moment, and there's going to be 8-9 players coming back that will want to play. If you're happy to just hand your shirt over quite nicely to somebody else and say, "Oh, you play instead of me," then what's your motivation? What are you going to go and do? You've got a big chance, a big opportunity in front of you. Go and grab it. Go and take responsibility. And maybe at the minute we or maybe within the team we don't have players that do take that responsibility. Is it a surprise that you bring on Jack and you bring on Ozzy, who are experienced players, and it just changes the dynamic slightly, gives you a little bit more experience, a little bit more know-how, but a little bit more drive? Maybe. But like I say, really pleased with the second half. We deserved something from the game, and hopefully we can put that first half to bed straight away.
Somebody who was a bright spark, I thought, throughout, and he got man of the match, actually, didn't he? It was Jaden Fevrier. Tell us about the decision to include him today and his role in the team.
Yeah, well, you know what Barnsley do in terms of in possession, out of possession. They're very similar to us, apart from the fact that the defenders are 4 and attackers are 3-2-5 and try and create that box. They have Reyes Cleary on that side and roll round. So their strength almost becomes their weakness a little bit, and they can be exposed. We knew that they're playing a centre half at left back and have been playing Josh Earl there, so we thought we could get some joy there. We switched Cal to the right hand side to basically try and get Fevs the ball and give him more opportunities and more possession rather than Joseph. It didn't really work as much in the first half. Obviously, second half when we flip it and you play with Jack Hunt this side, more of a natural fullback. Fevs gets plenty of the ball and ends up causing them problems. But I think again that shows that the things in the first half didn't work for him. He turned the ball over, got past a couple of times, but second half was miles more impactful, and put some balls in and caused them problems. Like I say, caused a good team problems who are on a decent run. Have got legs in the team. Well, they were hanging on at the end, and thankfully from our perspective, they didn't hang on long enough.
You talked in your programme today, Dave, about the atmosphere here inside Edgeley Park and the fans. I think one thing did change in that second half. You really got them engaged and invested in the game, didn't you? That was a big change.
Yeah, but that's our responsibility, and I can ask them all to do a favour and make sure it's bouncing for as long as possible. But the reality of it is, the first half was flat on the pitch, flat off the pitch, and the direction of the football match is only going one way. And probably half time, and I said to the players, probably half time, every single person in this ground expects Barnsley to go and get a second goal and the game to filter out into an absolute drab affair, and we lose another game. So we've got to make sure we do everything we can to prevent that. We have to get the supporters in the game. So Fevs' two little moments at the start of the second half gets them into the game. You then have to keep momentum going forward. We have, like I say, really, really good territory throughout most of that second half. We have high percentage of possession, and we're looking after the ball. We're trying to be positive. We're trying to be forward thinking. We've put, and you can argue and suggest you can try and maybe change up what you're doing. We've put endless amounts of crosses into the box. They've defended them really, really well, to be fair. But what we've done is made them defend. We've had the ball in that top third of the pitch in front of the Cheadle end for large periods of the game, which gives the fans that oomph that they need. Like I say, we'd all love to stand here and say, well, we want that from minute one and we demand that from minute one, regardless if we're absolutely stinking the place out. We want you to be really jolly and happy and shouting and singing. Well, let's be real, that's not going to be the case. So I've always said that we've got a responsibility to make that happen. The players did that in the second half.
Callum Connolly particularly, an unlikely goal hero perhaps. It's only his second goal for the club, but I think he was still appealing for 2 penalties when he actually volleyed that one in. Yeah,
it was a strange moment in the game, around people being strewn all over the floor in the penalty area, and a cross comes in, and again I just looked up and you see Cal volley it. He's in the middle of the goal and goes in the net. Good contact, but not seeing too much about it. Lots going on, but what we made Barnsley do second half is made them defend, and thankfully we've knocked enough times at the door to for it to open for us and take at least a deserved point.
Just finally, you talked also in your programme notes today about light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I think was the phrase you used when you're talking about the injuries, players coming back from injury. You're going to need them, aren't you? I think you've got sort of over 10 days. I think you've got 4 games, including 3 different competitions. So the squad is going to be needed by that point.
Yeah, it is. Great to get 45 minutes into Aussie today. That will probably mean he's potentially ruled out of Wednesday, and we'll have to make a decision around Saturday, Tuesday, what that looks like, and maybe prioritise the game. We might not have a choice based on positions and injuries we've got. So that's just where we are. We need to be careful. Hopefully we'll get some minutes into Teo as well on Wednesday. That probably means that he maybe is not available for Saturday, as after that sounds, but excuse me, but maybe available for Doncaster. Saturday should hopefully, fingers crossed, see the return of R2, certainly from the bench. And then you move further down the line, Stevenage, hopefully Tyler and Brad Hill's back involved. And then hopefully we try and get those players I've just mentioned there up to speed as quickly as possible for what is the Christmas period where you're playing every third day. So it's a busy part of the year. Callum Camp's obviously missed out today with a bit of a back issue, and he could well be available for us on Wednesday. But we'll have to see. And like I said in the press yesterday, Lewis Fury had surgery, so he's out for 6 weeks or so, but everything's gone well there. So we are a little bit short. We are getting players back, but we've got to hope that we don't lose any more players. I don't think there's been anything from today, which is a positive. Hopefully that continues over into tomorrow and Monday, and we can make some changes and look at some things on Wednesday, but still with the sole sight of winning the game.
Great stuff. Thanks for your time, Dave. Appreciate it. All the best. Thank you, my friend.